All right, Mr. Ramnik Singh Man, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Well, you've been on my show in the past as well, so then we have continuously tried to analyze what exactly was the problem here. There were some bad apples, and now it seems that they've been thrown out of the basket. Is this a new beginning, not only for India but for Canada as well, when it comes to dealing with a country like India, which the Americans also hail as one of its very few and close strategic partners?
Yeah. Okay. So first things first is that the good news is that the Jagmeet Singhs of the world have lost the election. But the Pierre Poilievre also has lost elections because he was not able to respond swiftly and efficiently to the Trump provocations. Third is, I would take this with a bit of caution, is because, Mark Carney is yet to set up his cabinet. And there are 22 probables. Let's see who he picks and who he brings in his cabinet. So that is 2. 3. I believe very firmly is that a lot of source of funding, a lot of audience from the gurdwaras and public for campaigning and political donations come from the Sikh diaspora, the Punjabi diaspora in Canada. So which way does the general diaspora shifts its thought would really depend on what takes shape forward, because political funding in these countries is very important. I'll give an example. Whenever a political party raises a dinner for fundraising, if they approach somebody, it's like $150 or $200 per seat, and there's a 10-seat table. So when you approach somebody from the Punjabi community, the Sikh community, they would offer and buy the entire event, not a table, not a chair. So there are influences. There are, I would say that we have to see all of this with some caution, and we should have a long-term strategy as India, as a nation, to counter the brainwashing of entire generation of Sikhs living in Canada. Well, it was very clearly illustrated by Mr. Sohi, and I have been also a vocal supporter of the policies of the Honorable Prime Minister of India when it comes to the Sikhs. Whether it was delisting the blacklisted Sikhs, whether it was the 550th anniversary of Guru Nanak Sahib, or 350 Sala of Guru Gobind Sahib, 400 Sala of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, the Kartarpur Sahib corridor, the Hemkund Sahib ropeway. There have been, several initiatives which were unprecedented. But then again, winning over the Sikh sentiment, you would need a lot of right-minded Sikh leadership from within the society. And you can't depend on imported leaders from other parties. So that is where I believe a strong messaging needs to come from the BJP so as to counter these elements overseas. That is number 4. Number 5, we need to have very consistent foreign policy when it comes to Sikhs living overseas, and a resonance of thought, a positive thought, has to come from the Sikhs living within India, because the community globally is very, very deeply connected. So somebody living in Canada, a Sikh living in Canada, would have relations in Punjab, in Delhi, or elsewhere. And similarly, people living here would have relations, in the US or in Canada or other parts of the world. So there has to be a resonating effect both from inside out and outside in. So I think that has to be taken into account. And for the Canadian elections, I believe the democracy there is one. And as a democratic country, from one to other, we would want to congratulate the Prime Minister Mark Carney on winning, but with a word of caution, that is the same Liberal Party who, with the support of the NDP, had created this menace which never existed. So Carney has to be very careful while picking his cabinet, and we have to keep a very close eye on what he does.
That's a good point, actually.